Already, World Within a World. This is part 13. And we're on page 93, good old 93, and the date we're starting at is December 22nd, 1956. We draw from the earth, deep within its heart, the matrix of the physical manifestation. Few give recognition to the powers inherent within the material body of the earth. They are hidden there until the time comes when man can find and renew himself with them. They are revealed to all who search with the aim of fulfilling a mission of redemption and restoration. Many before us have so searched. More will do so, for awareness is creeping into the consciousness of man, and he is beginning to know that the plane of his physical existence may indeed become the plane of his heavenly realities. Get it? Plane. But first must come the cleansing, and it is for this that we work, and because of this that we suffer disease, disharmony, carry the cross of humanity through the black night of transition. We feel no grief, for did not our Master do the same? What he came to exemplify, we came to carry on. Thus are we made whole in his sight. Long ago, the Atlanteans, the Aztecs, and various tribes that followed them learned the secrets of manifesting through so-called density. To conquer the air, the Earth's atmospheres, is by far easier than to learn to dwell within it. But the radiances can and do take the solar being wherever it desires to be. On them we are transported. In them we live and move and have our being. Because of them, a stone may be rolled away from a tomb, a body which has undergone death be restored to life. The Master knows and teaches the mystical laws of being when the pupil is ready to surrender the whole of self through the living of the law. December 28, 1956. Few realize just what is now taking place on earth. Changes in every form of life are manifest. Deep within the heart of the earth itself comes the impulse to a greater growth, a fuller life expression. Within the various strata of matter, as it appears below the surface, are elements which are now becoming available for man's use and which will change the whole of the globe as they become recognized. They have begun a transmutation of the natural forms. Vegetation is fast disappearing on some surfaces to be replaced by mineral content, which will transform the living qualities of the earth. In other desert places will come a form of vegetation which will cause them to, quote, bloom like the rose, unquote, and will bring to the surface waters of great value in the healing of disease in both man and animal. Mountains will produce minerals of such great value to the life on the planet that the struggle for material wealth will depart. Money will have no value because it will no longer be the medium of exchange. Sorry. The Earth's atmospheres are even now rapidly changing, and if war in its most destructive form can be prevented, our air or atmosphere will become purified. Exchange between planets of useful information will be possible. For the very work now done in transmission of ideas from one level to another is to stimulate the use of telepathic transmission. This in itself will most rapidly enlighten the minds of men and will cause them to elevate the consciousness more easily into cosmic levels. All of this will take place as the result of man's desire to banish the evils he has created and to serve only the good. Serious. Okay, January 11, 1957. This year I was born. At present, we are working most diligently with the radiation applied to the mental physical being of those who have been deported and enslaved. The radiations are injected by a special method into such wanderers between realms and will in time evoke a response so that the soul may continue to manifest through its physical being. In some cases, release from the physical takes place and the soul becomes aware of its faculties and regenerates into active planes of consciousness. We shall attempt to explain this. The almost unbearable struggle, the physical weakness, combined with the feeling on the part of some patients that the struggle is not worthwhile, causes a deterioration of both mind and body. In such cases, the patient is gently treated by the silvery blue ray, wherein the solar being is enhanced. But no attempt is made to inject the radioactive radiance. Radioactive radiances are those color tone beams which are highly energized and a specific degree indicated for use in treatment. Oh, goodness. The silver blue radiance may be so activated, but in cases where the patient is largely detached from the physical, the silvery blue may be used as a releaser rather than an activator of the mental physical processes. We are attempting to express our findings in your language, and it may not be as clear as we would wish it to be. What do you feel, for instance, when you become aware of even an infinitesimal amount of the love ray? Is it not warming like sunlight? Quickening like the flow of quicksilver? Soothing, uplifting, sustaining, tranquilizing, each of which quality has a color tone reflection? The solar powers may be used to induce whatever state of consciousness is desirable for the being, but he must make the choice. There is never any compulsion. When the being wishes to depart from the physical shell, we send the tranquilizing, relaxing, and releasing radiances within the silver blue. They also inspire and uplift until the release is made and the soul is free to wing its way to another sphere. It may be seen leaving the body and ascending in flight. In flight, it will make contact with the particles of radiation necessary to sustain it until it has found form in the sphere to which it has been directed. There may be no earth memory, or it may be quickly returned, depending entirely upon the use of and receptivity towards the solar radiation. Okay, January 18th, 1957. There are times when even the most spiritually minded feel that the body form is without animation, a shell with little besides painful memories and discomfort. When this is the case, usually a step is being made into the cosmic realms and the being is preparing for a greater work. It is wise at such times to drop all thought of striving, to relax and release in the presence and let the knowledge that one is never apart from the supreme power infiltrate the whole being. The use of color tone radiation has many functions, among them to restore the magical qualities of being and thus release them. To learn how to use them to help others is to learn how to live as a solar being, aware of the perfection of the life of spirit, yet able to step into the depths of hell, as it were, and release those who are prepared to receive the radiations from above. All men must receive their purification through a purgatorial cleansing. There is no escape from that which has been built by the body of mankind through their thought projections. One may not have committed an especial sin, but if his brother has done so and he seeks to help his brother, he may in turn pay his own karmic debt in absolution for that sin. In other words, man pays for all the evils of mankind in one way or another. This is the teaching of the Master Jesus. He showed us by example how it might be done. What he also taught us was that by the use of the heavenly fire, the radiations of the light, healing could take place instantly, and man no longer have to suffer the fires of purification, but only when all men are lifted up. Our intent is to point the way for the practice of the use of the radiations. We come slowly to learn that there is a way, a perfect path which will prevent the reaction of pain from the ills of the body of mankind. We take this path by believing in it and by practicing the use of the radiations. We come to know what color tone means, what the essence of being is, that we are natural inheritors of the healing forces, and as we come to mingle our vibrations with them, we come to know that all life is a healing force. We have but to become one with it, and the ills of mind and body fall away into nothingness. We are the perfect body in the Christ of God. Many outward manifestations of the Christ and his kingdom upon the earth are now being revealed, not only through messengers of light, but through those who seem to be earth children and with but little previous preparation for the light. Sometimes through the bodies racked with pain and suffering, the light descends and the being is made whole. Sometimes in the midst of evil and despair, the being lifts his head and beholds the Christ. Many times in suffering caused by great sacrifice, the being sees within his own vehicle of manifestation the living Christ and gives thanks that it is so.